Assalamu alaikum, dear students. I hope you are well. Today is our fourth online lecture of chemistry special topics. Previously, we have studied about the different types of the colloidal solutions like sol, gel, aerosol, and emulsion. Today, we will discuss about the surface active agent or surfactants. Before it, I hope you know about the surface tension which arise due to the unbalanced forces of attraction at the surface of a liquid. Actually, in the interior or in the bulk of a liquid, the molecules are attracting toward each other and there are the forces are the balanced by the each other. But at the surface of the liquid, there are no other molecules which attract these surface molecules, due to which the surface molecule feel an inward pull or inward attraction force, which is called the surface tension. Due to this surface tension, mostly the liquid surfaces are like in the form of stretch surfaces or stretch membrane, because the interior molecule forces or attracted the surface toward the inward. So this is the surface tension. And if we add some other material, other external material to these liquid, then what happened? Actually, these external material show some attraction to the surface molecules, and the surface tension of these liquid may be changed, or mostly this surface tension is decreased due to these external substances. So the substances that severely lowers the surface tension of water or other liquids, even at very low concentration, are called the surface active agent or surfactant. Mean their large amount is not necessary to decrease the surface tension, but their small amount can also decrease the surface tension of the liquid. So these substances are called as surface active substances or surfactants. They are strongly adsorbed at the air-water interface, mean they, in the case of water, it attach on the air and water interface, or in the case of emulsion, mean oil-water interface. They are strongly adsorbed and decrease the surface tension between the oil and liquid. The most common surfactants are the soap, which are the sodium salt of long chain fatty acids. Mean this long chain fatty acid has the carbon number which is extended up to 14 to 18. Mean this carbon chain is contain the carbon nearly 14 to 18, and the other end is the polar end, which mostly consists of the carboxylic group. So this is a polar end and this is a non-polar end, which is called the hydrocarbon chain end. The anion has a polar end in the surfactant and a large hydrocarbon tail, so that it tend to orient in the surface layer. How they arrange in the surface? Actually, the hydrophilic end, mean which is the polar end, is attracted toward the water, and the hydrophobic end, which are the hydrocarbon chain, which are repellent from the water. So they come to each other attracted by the other hydrophobic end, and the hydrophilic end are attracted toward the water. They orient in the surface layer in such a way with the hydrophilic carboxyl group in the water, mean hydrophilic carboxylic group are attracted toward the water, and the hydrophobic long hydrocarbon chains are attracted toward the air or oil. There are different types of the synthetic surfactants or surface active agents. Mean they may be polar, non-polar, or you can say they may be positive surfactant, they may be anionic surfactant or cationic surfactant, or some are non-ionic surfactants. So the synthetic surfactant include anionic types such as, this is the examples of some surfactants such as alkyl sulfonates, which contain again the salt of the sodium of these sulfonates. Actually it depend upon this R group, mean the carbon chain should be longer than 12 to 18 or 14 to 18. Many household detergent are of the anionic type. The detergent we use in our house for cleaning, wash of our surfaces or washing of the cloth. They are actually the detergent, and these are mostly the anionic type. Cationic surfactant include alkyl trimethyl ammonium halides, mean salts of the ammonium, and for good detergent action R should be at least 12 to 18 carbon atom, mean the R related to the carbon chain, hydrocarbon chain, so it should be longer enough. And there are also many non-ionic surfactant, which is whose example is the Triton series. Mean in one side there is a polar group and the other side is a non-polar end. So the all the surfactant has both polar and non-polar groups. When the concentration of the surfactant is increased to a specific level, then these surfactant form the micelles. As we know about what are the micelles, if a substance has a polar end and the non-polar end, then the hydrophobic tails, which are the hydrocarbon tails, orient toward the inward, and the all the polar end, or mean all the hydrophilic end, are attracted toward the water. So there is a need of specific concentration, which is called the critical micelle concentration. Uh, if the concentration of the surfactant is less than this concentration, then no micelles are formed. And if the concentration of the surfactants are larger than this concentration, then there is a different type of the micelles are formed in this way. When the concentration of surfactant in the aqueous solution increases to a certain definite value, the individual surfactant molecule aggregate to form the micelles. They combine in such a way that they form micelle containing well-defined number of the molecules. Usually 50 to 100 molecules take part in a micelle. So mostly 100 or 50 to 100 molecule combine aggregate to form micelles, but the size of the micelle is in the range of the typical colloids, mean their size is in the range of 0.1 to 1 nanometer. Micelles are formed only above the critical micelle concentration, mean that if the concentration of the surfactant is about the critical micelle concentration, then their micelles are formed, otherwise their micelles are not formed. In the micelles formation, as we studied earlier, then the hydrocarbon chains are directed toward the center, mean all the hydrocarbon chains are orient toward the inward, and the hydrophilic polar carboxylic group are end on the surface in contact with the water. These hydrophilic end are attracted toward the water, which stabilize the micelle in the water solution. These micelles are solvated by the large number of these solvent molecules. So the solvent molecule are attracted toward that, and so the large number of the solvent molecules are attracted in these micelles. So these micelles orientation lower the free energy by decreasing the modification of the water structure. If you know the equation, thermodynamic equation of the gap free energy, which is the delta G is equal to the delta H minus T delta S, in which T is the absolute temperature, delta S is the change in entropy, and delta H is the enthalpy of the system. During the formation of these micelles, the enthalpy is increase, mean positive, so it means that the reaction is the endothermic. So then if the delta H is positive, and if we see the effect of tropy, and if the change of entropy is positive, it's mean then if you know, during the micelles formation, apparently we see that the molecules are arranging in some order, so its entropy should be decreased when initially the molecules are orient in random direction, but the after the critical micelle concentration, the molecules are arranged in a specific direction, so its entropy should be decrease, but there is an effect of solvent. In the solvated case, you know about the solvation by the water molecule. When the water molecule are attracted to each ionic species in the solution, so they all form a layer around these ions, so these reactant molecule or the surfactant molecules are solvated in this way. But in the micelle formation, water molecules are arranged toward their outer end, so their entropy is also increasing. So in the case of micelle formation, no doubt the entropy of the molecule is decreasing, but the effect of the solvent is very important, which cause the increase in the entropy. Mean entropy is positive in the case of micelles formation. That's why when the effect of entropy is positive and the delta H is positive, mean the reaction is the endothermic, then the delta G will be decreased in the formation of the entropy. Actually, this decrease is related to the increase in the entropy of the solvent molecules. Thus, in a micelle arrangement, thus a micelle arrangement lower the free energy by decreasing the modification of the water structure. The thermodynamics of micelle formation shows that the enthalpy of formation of a aqueous system is probably positive, mean the reaction is the endothermic, with the delta H around 1 to 2 kilojoule per mole of the detergent species. And if we see the effect of entropy, the entropy change is positive even though the molecules are clustering together, which if the molecules are clustering together mean they form the micelle, so its entropy should be negative, but the effect is the solvent is due to the solvent, which show a contribution to entropy from the solvent. The molecules of solvent become less concentrate on the formation of the micelles, mean previously सॉल्वेंट मॉलिक्यूल्स ने इंडिविजुअल आयंस को अट्रैक्ट किया हुआ था. अब क्या है कि सॉल्वेंट मॉलिक्यूल्स जो हैं, जो वाटर के मॉलिक्यूल्स हैं, वो इंडिविजुअल पार्टिकल्स को सराउंड नहीं कर रहे. वो जो इंडिविजुअल मॉलिक्यूल के गिर्द केज बनाया हुआ था सॉल्वेंट मॉलिक्यूल्स ने, वो केज ख़त्म हो जाता है. अब वो जो सॉल्वेंट मॉलिक्यूल हैं जस्ट उसके पोलर एंड्स के साथ अटैच हो रहे हुए हैं, तो इसलिए उनकी जो है एंट्रोपी जो है वो इंक्रीज हो रही है with respect to the solvent. The molecule of solvent becomes less concentrated due to the formation of the micelles, and the individual surfactant molecules are no longer held in the solvent cage. So यहाँ पे solvation नहीं हो रही है individual molecules की, बल्कि micelles formation में जो है वो polar and water के साथ attraction show कर रहे हैं. ये तो था हमारे पास thermodynamics of the micelles or surfactants or surface active agents. These micelles are very important for us because different surfactants or different surface active agents are used in our industries and our homes because of their solubilizing functions or solubilizing properties. Mean we can transfer one material to another in the form of the micelles, or even our household detergents and soap show the action like these surfactants. Mean with the grease or dirt particles are attracted toward the interior of the micelle, which are the hydrophobic ends, and the surfactant polar molecules polar end are attracted toward the water, and in this way during the washing all the grease is removed from the cloth or the other substances and come into the solution, and it is clean from that substance. So micelles are important in our industry and biology because of their solubilizing functions. Matter can be transported by the water after it has been dissolved in their hydrocarbon interior. Mean if a substance is water insoluble, then the hydrocarbon interiors may solubilize them, and it can be transferred from one place to another place. The action of the soap and detergent is also based on their ability to form the micelles, which can separate the fatty material, mean grease or dust, and rendering them soluble in the surfactant solution. Mean it causes the solubilization of these fatty material or dust material into the surfactant solution. Similarly, during the froth flotation and petroleum recovery, micelles formation also play an important role. You have studied the froth flotation process, in which different impurities from the mineral ores are separated during the formation of the froth, and when these impurities are released from the mineral ores and connected with the attracted toward the surfactant molecules, and they form the froth, and they can be easily removed from the pure minerals or earth metals. And similarly during the petroleum recovery, the surfactants also play an important role and purify it. So next topic, which is the last topic of this chapter, is the application of the colloidal solutions. Colloidal solution has many importance in our life and industry. Some of the important application of the colloids are following. First one is the colloidal medicine. You know, if the particle size of a material is decreased, or it may be in the form of the colloidal state, as in the case in as compared to it is present in the large particle size. So in the smaller size particle, the surface area is increased, so it may become more effective, and its absorption is easy, its combination with the other substances is easy. So the colloidal solutions are used in different medicines. Colloidal medicines are being finally divided, which are more effective on account of their easy absorption and assimilation, mean combination with the others. substances. So when the medicine are in the form of very finely divided form, their absorption in the body is easy. Some example are the colloidal sulfur, gold, antimony, calcium, which are used as a medicine for different diseases. Similarly, some antibiotics such as penicillin and streptomycin are produced in the colloidal form, which are suitable for the injection. Similarly, halibut liver oil and cod liver oil are in fact the emulsion of these oil in the water. And colloidal solution are also have many application in our food and in food industries. Mean many of our food are colloidal in nature. Mean best example is the milk, which is an form of emulsion. Ice cream is a dispersion of butter or fat in the water, which are protected by a protein. Similarly, the fruit jellies and whipped cream are also example of the colloidal solution. The next example is the sewage disposal, mean the waste material which also contain these colloidal solution which carry some charge, and if these charged materials are passed through the electric field, then they are move toward the opposite charge electrodes, and they can be easily removed from the disposal solutions or disposal materials. They can be cleaned in this way. The dirt particles suspended in air carry a charge. They can be separated by the cataphoresis, mean electrophoresis, in which the electric field is applied to the charged particles, and these charged particles move toward their opposite electrodes. They deposit on it, and they can be easily removed from the system. The dirt particles move toward the oppositely charged electrodes, lose their charge, and are precipitated. The deposits so formed are then removed from the system. Similarly, the purification of the water, and the impure water, we can pure it by the adding of the some alum, which is the mineral of the aluminium. And when this alum is dissolved in the water, it provides the aluminium ion, which neutralize the any negative ion charge present in this water, municipal water, which may contain some bacteria or some clay particles. So when the oppositely charged ions combine with each other, they coalesce, they combine with each other and settle down, and water can be purified in this way. So the municipal water obtained from the natural sources often contain colloidal particles such as bacteria and clay particles. When the alum is added to the impure water, the alum provides the aluminium ions, which neutralize the negative charge on the salt particles, which coalesces and settle down. The pure water can be decanted or filtered out, or we can filter out the water to form it pure. The next example is the smoke precipitation. In this way, the smoke containing the particles are removed from the air, and so the air can be clean in this way. Actually, in this Cotral precipitator, the smoke or dirty air is passed through different plates, which are the charge plates, and these charge plates actually release the high energy electrons. So the incoming air is present in this Cotral smoke precipitator, and then the electron cause the ionization of the incoming air, and this ionization creates some charges, positive or negative charges, and these charges are attracted or absorbed by the smoke particles, which are the aerosol particles or some colloidal particles. And so these colloidal particles also become charged, and these charged particles are then attracted towards their opposite electrodes. So in this way, the smoke particles or impure air become the pure by the deposition of the a colloidal particle on the different electrodes, and dust free air is recycled or exhausted to the environment. So in smoke precipitation, the smoke coming from the industrial plants is a colloidal dispersion of the solid particles which may contain carbon, arsenic compound or cement dust. So it pollutes the atmosphere. It is harmful for the atmosphere. Therefore, before allowing the smoke to escape into the air, it is treated by the quattral precipitator. The smoke is passed through a series of highly charged plates which discharge high velocity electron that ionize the molecule in the air. The smoke particles absorb these positive ions and become charged. So these smoke particles are also become charged. These charged particles are attracted to the oppositely charged electrode and get precipitated. The gases that leave the quattral precipitator are now free from the smoke particles. Next example is the formation of the delta. Actually, this is formed when the river water is combined with the sea water or some streams. At that place there is a lot of mud accumulation or lot of the colloidal substances accumulation, and at this place actually the river contains some colloidal particles which carry negative charge, and when this combine with the sea water and with the large molecules are colloidal form and they have some positive charge. When the positive and negative charge substances combine with each other, they become neutralized and they may be settled down at that position. So near the combination of the river to the stream or river to the seas, there is a area which contain lots of the sediment which is called the formation of the delta. The river water contains colloidal particles of the sand and clay which carry negative charge, and the sea water on the other hand contain a positive charge ion mean sodium, magnesium, calcium. As the water meets the sea water, these ions discharge the sand and clay particles with the precipitated as, which is called as delta. Next example is the tanning of the hides or tanning for the formation of leather. Actually, you know, when hides are collected from different animals, they are treated with the different solutions actually to form their leather. So the tanning is a negatively charged salt, mean these solutions are negatively charged. Mostly the chromate solutions are used for the tanning of the leather. So these when these hide are soaked in it, the positively charged particle on the hide are neutralized by the negatively charged salt particles, and the process is called tanning, and it imparts the hardness to the leather and to convert into different types of the leather. Next example of the colloidal solution is the artificial rain, which is formed by the throwing of the electrified sand, and when these electrified sand particles are combined with the charged water droplets, they combine with each other and form the artificial rain in that area. So in the artificial rain can be caused by the throwing electrified sand from an aeroplane. The moist air contain colloidal particle of water which carry the charge. This electrified sand help to neutralize the charged particle of the water which coagulate and result in the rainfall. Next is the non-drip or the thixotropic paint. as we have studied about the thixotropic sol and gel, which has ability to convert it into the sol and the and gel. So the non-drip mean which cannot be dropped on from the wall, and they can be converted either into the sol form or either into the gel form very quickly. All the paints are colloidal dispersion of the solid pigments in the liquid medium. The modern non-drip or thixotropic paints also contain long chain polymers. At the rest, the chain of the molecule are coiled and entrap much of the dispersion medium. Mean when these material are present at the rest, they act like a semi-solid material or they form the gel of the structure. Therefore, the paint is a semi-solid structure, gel structure at the rest. When the shearing stress is applied with the paint brush, the coiled molecules straighten and the entire medium is released. When we disturb this gel by the paint brush by applying force, it converts into the sol. Dispersion medium is released from it. As soon as the brush is removed, the liquid paint reverts to the semi-solid form. So when we release the force, release the paintbrush, then this attached to the wall and cannot and converted back into the gel, and it does not drop on the surface. This renders the paint non-drip. So these are the non-drip or thixotropic paints are also the colloidal solution. Next, an important application of the colloidal solution is the artificial kidney machine dialysis. Naturally, our kidney dilates the blood from the toxic material. The toxic material in our body are the uric acid and urea and other some material, and the pure our kidney purify our blood and remove these toxic material from them, and the purified blood is recirculated in our body. But in the case of artificial kidney machine, kidney dialysis, actually there are different type of semi-permeable tubes which are present in the form of the solution, or which are present in the solution of some cleaning material. And the colloidal particles are removed from those semi-permeable membrane, they release the toxic substances from the blood, and the pure blood is again entered into our body by this machine. So in artificial machine, the human kidney purify the blood by the dialysis through the natural membrane. Toxic substances such as the urea and uric acid pass through the membrane, with while the colloidal side particle of the blood protein, hemoglobin, are retained in the blood, and they are again moved toward the body. The kidney failure lead to the death due to the accumulation of these poisonous waste products in the blood. Nowadays, the patient blood can be cleaned by shunting into an artificial kidney machine, kidney dialysis, in which the impure blood is made pass through series of cellophane membranes or series of cellophane tubes surrounded by a washing solution of the water. The toxic waste chemical are diffused across these membranes into the washing solution, and the purified blood is returned to the patient body. The use of artificial kidney machine saved the life of 1,000 persons each year. Similarly, the next example of the colloidal solution is the curd formation, in which when the milk sort, the bacteria present in our in milk form the lactic acid from the milk sugar, and this acid changes the colloidal casein, which is the milk protein, into the curd. So these are also colloidal. Milk is example of the colloidal solution, and the curd is also formed from the milk. Next example is the soil, which also contain the colloidal particles of the clay and humus, and which is important for the agriculture. And if the concentration of these clay and humus is decreased, then they affect the fertility of the soil also. The colloidal find numerous application in the agriculture. The fertility of the soil depend upon the relative amount of the colloids in the soil. Mean the humus and the clay are the important colloidal ingredients of the soil. The greater the ratio of these compounds in the soil, the better is it will hold the water and plant nutrients. So its fertility is affected by these colloidal substances. Next is the chemical warfare. Mean these colloidal solutions or colloidal substances are also used in the formation of the chemical warfare. Mean they are also prepared for the formation of some bomb or other war materials. So the smoke and mist screen are produced by detonating bombs containing harmful and irritant substances during the war. Means जब बम blast होते हैं या other हमारे पास materials हैं, उसकी वजह से हमारे पास collider particles भी produce हो रहे होते हैं. Next and last example is the adsorption indicators. Mean they also example of the colloidal solution in which the different substances are attached on their surface. Mean there is a process of the preferential adsorption of the ions on the surface of these indicators. The adsorption indicator, these indicators function by the preferential adsorption of the ions onto the soil particles. First example is the fluorescein, which is an example of the adsorption indicator, and it is used for the titration of the sodium chloride with the silver nitrate solution. When it combined with each other, then the product is the sodium nitrate and the silver chloride. Silver chloride is actually in white color. When the excess of the silver chloride solution precipitates are formed, mean it contains some positive ion on them, then these positive ion are attracted toward the indicator, which is the fluorescein in this case. Then its color may be changed, and we can detect the end point. In this way, at the end point, the positively charged silver chloride silver ion particle attract the colored fluorescein anion, which is the fluoride ion in this case, and turn rose red. At the end point is the uh, change of the white precipitate into the sharply pink color. So this was the end of this chapter and topic. I love this.